Hello, everyone around the globe. I'm Eva Simone, and today is a special day, a day where we're coming together. Tarak is already online. We're coming together to talk about something that is dear to my heart. I want us to first ground in this space. When a woman protects her aliveness, something beautiful grows with her. So I want us to really come into our bodies and be present in this moment as we embark on something that has the potential and the possibility for changing leadership today. Again, my name is Eva Simone, and I am from Embodiment is Everything. I created something that's called Embodied Architecture, where women are able to hold power in their body without leaving themselves behind. So many times we as women, we move forward in life, we move, but we don't bring our full selves. We bring part of ourselves. And when that happens, our leadership does not always turn out the way that we want. And when that happens, I have a thesis about this, and it's called Power Should Never Cost a Woman Herself. In this live today, we're going to be bringing a woman back home to herself. We're going to be bringing her back to the power that she has, where she's able to accumulate the energy again after she's led in a way that is true to her, that she gains her power back instead of being exhausted, depleted, and not fully herself. Again, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Tarak, you're here. I want you to tell us about Build with Her.
Yes, thank you so much. And I really enjoy doing this first event with you. So I'm the founder of Build with Her. And to be honest, I maybe as a man you will say why a man should care about the woman equality and so on. And it's because for me, I was raised by my two parents. I'm French. I was raised by my two parents, but especially with my mother, I always believe that men and women are really equal. And me as a founder, I wanted to create a company that was not only making money, of course, it's always important, but especially to have an impact. And the impact that I wanted to have, global impact, because we have more than 170 stories today, and we only launched Build With Her magazine 2 months ago. And Eva, you have been one of the most contributor that I really love all your stories. For me, it's really like, how can we build a space, a safe place for women who really like say, okay, I want to be seen, I want to grow my personal brand, I want to be with other women around the world. And that's why as a founder I really wanted to build this space, because at the end of the day, women and men are equal. I really like, for me, for example, my co-founder is a woman. I really love to work with women because they bring something for me different than what we bring as men. And it's only because we are complementary that we can build great businesses. And before building Build With Her, I felt like the world was thinking like me, and I realized it was not. So I said, okay,
Mm.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my skills that I've acquired over the years in growth, and grow as much as we can, and give the voice to all the women. So for me, Build With Her is really a place where you, as a woman, you can write your stories, you can grow your personal brand. And I also want Build With Her to support initiatives like the UN and like the refugee of the world and all. It's a place for all of us. So thank you so much for asking me this question.
Thank you. Um, you said something, and I'm gonna go deeper into the work. You said something about men and women are equal, and I appreciate that. But here's what I also feel in this work. Men and women, we show up in a way that is true to who we are as man and as woman. My work is for a woman to show up as herself, where she can feel safe and comfortable speaking how she needs to speak, being as she needs to be without it causing her issues. A lot of times in this work as women leaders, we don't feel safe to really show up as our true selves because that truth sometimes doesn't fit the model, the current model of leadership today. And in order for a woman to continue to be alive and her aliveness is to be protected, she has to have the safety for that aliveness to really thrive and blossom. So let's go deeper into this. And Tarak, if you have some questions as I get prepared to open up
Yes.
this discussion, but go ahead before I open up this
Like,
discussion.
I think what you said is very important, but the question that I have, and that's why also I push a lot of women who share their first stories on the magazine, is what is your manifesto? Why did you really want to build this great company that you're building? What was the moment you said, okay, I want to build that now?
Well, my journey for my company has taken on many different turns. At first, I was really into feminine embodiment and what it felt like for a woman to be in her body. And then I saw this gap in the market and in leadership where I saw women losing themselves and leaving themselves behind, and that was a problem for me. And it was really disturbing for me that women had to be these different things. They were fragmented in so many ways. And then the nervous system and the boardroom never disconnected. So at the boardroom for many high achievers and high capacity women, the our senior leaders, it trickled into their homes, it trickled into their sleep, trickled into their relationships, and they were never able to really allow their nervous system to exhale. And when a woman doesn't exhale, she's in hypervigilance and moving forward, like pushing forward all the time. And her body is saying, hello, what about me? So when I saw, even in my own self, because I was having these moments of saying, why can't I relax the way that I wanted to? I didn't realize that my own nervous system was intertwined and entangled in my work. So when I started to really step back and take a look at it, I said, we women, we have this natural GPS inside of us, this operating system that gives us information all the time, but we don't always trust it. And because we don't always trust it, we lead from the mind and we shut off the body, and we need both. And when we are able to use both, we can trust ourselves to make some really powerful decisions. We have to bring the entire woman along. So that's what started me on this journey.
Thank you so much. Now it's more clear. And I hope it's more clear for other women who are listening to our show as well.
I hope so. This is such, I want women to feel like they don't have to be in a model of leadership that does not fit them anymore. And I'm not even sure it ever fit women, but there is another way. So let's begin. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So my thesis is power should never cost a woman herself. And power has cost women themselves year after year after year. Exhaustion, depletion, turnovers in jobs, ready to just quit. And I'm seeing, and I know when a woman pulls back and says, what's really going on right now in my body? What's happening that I want to not speak up? When a woman feels safe and has courage to speak in a way that is true to her, the business can move forward in a way that everybody can grow in a powerful way. But when a woman shuts down and she can't speak her truth, then the organization feels it. Her children feels it. Her significant other feels it. It is a domino effect of what happens when a woman's power costs her herself. I believe, and we believe at Embodiment is Everything through embodied architecture, that a woman's power should return to herself over and over and over again. But it can't happen if she doesn't renew herself. Leadership currently does not allow a woman to renew herself. It only keeps her in a perpetual line of performance, of function. the power part dwindles away. So let's go deeper into this. Do you have any questions before I go a little bit deeper?
For me, it's clear.
Okay, good. And anyone, you can put some questions in the chat and we can talk about it. So why now? This should have been happening in the beginning of time, but now the old model doesn't work. It keeps women in the endurance trap, constantly forcing their ways forward. They don't feel like they can separate from the work and allow themselves to be back in their body. And when you're in the endurance trap, it's constantly keeping you away from the vitality. And as I said in the beginning, your aliveness has to be protected for you to be able to speak in your truth and in your courage and in your power. So when your vitality is not there, this is a problem for the organization. And I want this new standard to be where a person can say, yes, I have the ability to carry a lot, but that doesn't mean that I have to carry everything. When a woman is in embodied architecture, she's able to say, this belongs to you, this belongs to this department. I don't need to take that home. I can separate, renew myself, and start again tomorrow. The problem is we don't get to renew ourselves in the old model of leadership. So why women? Women we have this extraordinary way of carrying so many things. We are multitaskers. We're able to hold the entire room. But because we're able to do that, leadership for women, it costs us ourselves. It costs us our vitality. It costs us our sleep. It costs many things that are just way too expensive for the organization. And when the organization doesn't get the true woman, they're getting her in a mode of constant survival. And that is the problem. It starts to diminish her aliveness. It starts to diminish her innovation, her creativity, her way of leading that is what she started from the beginning. When she diminishes, that energy diminishes, she's not in the beginning where she started. She's further along, but she's no longer herself. She's fragmented herself along the way. And that is a problem for leadership. That is a problem for organizations. That is a problem for an organization that is trying to get more women to come into leadership. When we don't understand and recognize what's happening behind the scenes, the hidden cost will stay a hidden cost. And embodied architecture is bringing that hidden cost to the forefront. Now, this is not, someone said, Eva, is this just a self care kind of thing? No. This is a part of her operating system. When she's constantly renewing herself, she's able to say, I see where I'm out of line for my own leadership. I see where I'm not aligned for what is for me. But if you're not in tune with your body and embodied in your leadership, you miss all of those cues. And when you miss all of those cues, you're now trying to force your way through or endure. And you feel like this work is like your work is, you feel like you're suffering. And when you are in tune with yourself, the suffering minimizes because you're thinking, that doesn't fit, that doesn't work for me, or that doesn't fit. But a woman has to feel it in her body and then connect with her mind, a whole body experience. Leadership is physiology. It's in the body. We lead from the body. A woman, her decisions come through her body. Her yeses come through her body. Her no's come through her body. But if she's not connected and in tune with her body, she misses the signals where her truth is saying no. But she's saying yes because she's afraid of abandonment. She's afraid of rejection. She's afraid that she's not going to fit in. But we are meant to be individuals showing up collectively. And when we do that, each person has the courage to say, no, I see this, not that. But if we're not standing in our truths, we don't get to see that. Tarak, what do you think about this?
I was in a journey with you. To be honest, the way you were talking, I cannot pretend like That's why a lot of women contacted me telling me why, as a man, I build with her. It's because I know my limits and I know that you and I we are complementary. I'm not saying that I'm not a woman, even though my own partner is telling me that my woman side is very inside me and all. But there are things that as a man, I haven't lived through. I was thinking also about the first slide that is so important. It's about the old model and the new model, and I think it's what we are doing tonight, today. It's worldwide because a lot of people, a lot of women feel the same everywhere. Either they are in Europe, they are in the US, they are in Australia, in Africa, in India. I think a lot of women are trying to find other sources. Before, maybe 10 years ago, it was like, okay, between freelancer and employee, but now it's like, as a woman, what kind of life do I want? So for me, it's really important, what you're saying, and I directly see the relationship that our two companies or two initiatives can bring to the world.
Yes. Yes, and it's so beautiful, because when I started to work with you, I was thinking, "Why does this guy get it? Like, what about him understands what I'm doing as a man?" But you got it immediately. And once I started to write for Build with her and connect with you and then collaborate with you, I said, "Oh, he really understands what's happening." Um, and you're doing something really powerful. You are connecting women globally. And I was on a call with you 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, and I sat there and I was thinking, women in Africa are having the same problem. They're talking about the
Everywhere.
same things. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So it's not something that we should be pushing under the rugs. When a woman thrives, when a woman blossoms, when a woman protects her aliveness, beautiful things happen. And that message has to get out. It has to get out globally. So me, who's Eva? Who's this person behind this brand? You know, I'm a woman. I'm a woman who's experienced some of the same things that I'm doing my best to protect other women from experiencing. Um, my feminine intelligence is online strong. It's in my body. It's strong. It's coming through moment by moment. My assistant said to me the other day, "My goodness," she said, "one moment I think I'm riding beside you in a motorcycle, and the next moment I'm in like a Bugatti with you," because it's happening to me so fast. This opening up, this opening of possibility for other women. One woman, it takes one woman to make a change, and other women feel comfortable that it's okay to be in your body and leading from that place. When a woman doesn't feel safe to do that, she's nervous. She feels like, "Oh my gosh, if no one else is doing it, is this true? Is this right?" But it takes one woman. And I am that woman. I am the creator of embodied architecture. And as I said before, embodied architecture is how a woman holds her power in her body. When she's not holding the power in her body, something happens. Something happens that I call hidden collapse. And I want that to be up front and in the face of organizations so that they can see what's happening with women and how to protect women and how to prepare them for leadership. And that's what embodied architecture does. Tell me more about you, Tarak, and what's happening with what you're seeing with women.
Example, me, what I'm saying is, so the first mission of Bill with Her is to share stories. No stories, my stories. No, I do not want to, like, I do not care about my own stories. I already wrote my book about it, but it's like about the voice and the stories of all the women. And also that's why I love what you're doing, because it's very psychological. The first time I reached out to women and I connected with them and with her, um, they told me they were now ready to share. They were not
Mm,
ready to share. They were not ready to. They were not self-aware of who they were. So for
mm,
me, it's very important as well. And then that's why even today, the first story that I would like women to be able to tell. It's not about what they're doing today, because obviously we are always a work in progress, but I really want women to share from 0 to 1. Like, you are maybe 20 years old, you are maybe 30, 40, whatever the age that you have, but what led you there? What is your
Yes.
story? Because once you understand what is your story and you are able to write it in plain word and share it to the world, wow, it's amazing. I still remember the day that I finalized my own book, Still Becoming. And to be honest, even my partner was telling me, like, wow, it's amazing, because it's like you have done 2 years of psychotherapy. Like, you were able to
Oh,
express a lot of things that I didn't even know about you. And for me, this is the most important. It's like, that's why I really believe in the power of words. And also, I really believe in the power of we instead of I. So what I'm saying is, we're all alone at the end of the day, but the community is the most important for me. It's like, with women, they do not want to be alone, or if they are alone, I want them to have a choice to be alone or to be with people. So first is the we before the I. The second one is, you are ready to share. It's just that you need to be self-aware of who you are. And once you are able to write it, trust me, wow, you will see the power of writing. You will see the power of your words, and you will see the impact that you can have on a lot of women. And that's why I think I really see the power of Build with Her is really the power of words, really the power of having an impact, even if at the beginning of the journey you believe that you you were an imposter, or the syndrome of like, you were not self-motivated to do it. But I think it's something that I see worldwide.
yes. I love that. And even whenever you first reached out to me, I was telling my assistant, I was like, why is this guy reaching out to me? Like, what is build with her? What does that mean? And here's the thing, you have been side by side with me since you've shown up. And you've been the same guy from the moment that I connected with you to now. So, ladies, if you're needing to write a story about your work and who you are in the workforce and what you're wanting, this guy is serious. He's serious. He's wanting to connect with as many women as he can to help them on this journey. So it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time for women. And for some, an organization is saying, yes, we got your back. That's so beautiful. So thank you.
Yes.
So, go ahead. You were going to say something?
No, no, yeah, I think it's also important for companies, because right now we really think about women as maybe individual, but I think it's even more powerful when companies are working with us to share the stories of the women who are working at their companies. Because at first, when I reached out to the first companies, they were telling me, like, they were not ready, or they believe that we were too small. And but it's then I discovered that women were already from companies, they were already sharing stories. And I think it has also a direct impact on the corporate brand. So for me, what you said is very important about companies. Is like, either you're a woman, or or you're a group of women, or you are working at the company. Share your story, share what you want, and build your personal brand as well. This is the most important.
Yes. So, and that's what so many women have been doing, daily. There are new women coming on and the stories are beautiful. And it's pretty common what's happening. So thank you for that. So embodied architecture, as we go back into some of what's happening with my company and build with her, embodied architecture um, helps a woman's nervous system to come back into her body instead of it being that she's so disrupted and um, out of sorts. It's a cycle of activation, resting, integrating, and repeating. It's this constant cycle where it's not in one, it's moving through the cycle. And the cycle it's a normal cycle for every leader. The problem is we get activated, but we don't settle our nervous systems down to renew. And we don't activate ourselves, then we're not able to speak from a truth when we need to make really, really serious, powerful decisions. So, so the difference between the old role and the new role is the old role used to consume us. Everything you're thinking the whole day about the job. Now we're able to go through the cycle of activation, rest, integration, and repeat. Um, I'm not going to go through each slide, but for the most, I want the woman to walk away with: is this power expanding me, or is it consuming me? And when it's consuming you, you end up shrinking and your life doesn't expand the way that you want. You don't have time for the things that matter. You don't have time for, you know, being with your loved ones really present because you're constantly in this energy of being consumed. What do you feel, Tarak, when I talk about women being consumed and not having the space and the energy for something else that they really enjoy?
So two questions. Why do you feel consumed? And
Well, you
what do you really crave for?
Oh, it is 2 questions. Yes. What do you think?
That's why I told you I'm not a woman. So for me, what consumes me keeps me alive. But I don't want. One thing that I promise myself when I build with her is like I will never pretend to be someone that I'm not. So my goal build with her is always listening to women and never pretend that I am one. I'm not a woman. So for me, when you speak like that and you say like women feel consumed and all, is like the first question is why do you feel consumed? Is it like what is your environment? Is it because of work? Is it because of something else? So for me, it's always asking question. I really prefer of active listening. So I'm going back to the question that I ask you as a woman is
Yes.
why do you feel consumed?
Well, for me, when it used to consume me, when life used to consume me, work used to consume me, business used to consume me, relationships used to consume me, it was the survival part of it. Did I do enough? Did I carry enough? Do I need to do anything else? Can I really rest right now? It was this constant energy of this overshadow over the thing that I was doing, enjoying. The nervous system never got to a place where I've done enough. And when I got to the place where I'd done enough, I was like, wow, why was I doing all of that? When a woman doesn't recognize that she's in survival, continue to be activated, and she never recovers. So that first answer, a question that I answered myself, I was constantly in survival and I never was able to recover. So yes, go ahead.
One other question. What triggered the fact that you realized this this emotional states? Because I'm sure that there are very women who live like that, but what triggered what did you say at this specific time? You know what, I'm too much consumed. You know what,
Yes.
I need to take a step back.
Yes. Well, when you're on
You're mute.
okay, I hit my ear.
Yes.
Um, so what happened to me that made me really think about, take a step back, girl. What's really happening? When you're in the constant go of moving forward. And for me, I'm able to do a lot of things. My brain is able to process lots of information really fast. But I was like, but I'm not allowing other people to process the information because my brain works so quickly. I would be like, oh, they're taking too long. Let me just do it. Or I know how to do that better. And when you're that type of woman who I used to be, which I used to be like that, people don't, they're like, she'll do it. I don't have to do anything. And I thought to myself, am I caring or carrying? What's happening right now? Am I carrying this whole thing, this mountain? I did some exercise. Maybe my ears got a little smaller. Everything's falling out my ears. Um, Am I carrying this boulder up the hill? And if I'm carrying it, why am I carrying it? Because when you have the ability to do things and do them well, people just think she doesn't need any help. She'll do it. So it wasn't until I stepped back and said, if I'm tired, why am I tired? If I am frustrated, why am I frustrated? If I want to do X, but I'm forcing myself to do Y, why am I doing that? It was the endurance trap. It was me being capable. Again, high capacity women are highly capable, but to the point that it causes them a problem. So I had to step back and say, no, if I didn't do this thing, if I didn't pull a person across the bridge, if I didn't do the go above and beyond to keep things flowing, what would happen? Nobody died when I stopped. I allowed every person to have their thing. And I got all of that energy back. And it was a beautiful homecoming for me. So that's what happened to me.
I think it's really interesting. I will not talk for a woman, but as a founder, it's when you're used to do everything yourself, and then you start growing, and then you start having a team, and then you start like saying like, okay, if I really want my team to grow, I am not the one who need to do everything anymore. At first, you need to do everything, like all the job function that you can think of. As a founder, you need to do it all. It's very exhausting. But I love what you said, because as founders as well, we go through it. As we grow, we say, okay, how can I enable my team? It's not by doing everything myself. It's about giving them the tools, giving them the environment that they need to grow. And when you trust them enough, it's when you need to take a step back, and then you realize that if you have done a good job with them, that the company growth is even faster, is even bigger. But to go there, to go from I need to do everything to I need to take a step back and delegate to other people, I think it's also challenging. So for me, what you said about women, I also speak for founders, either men or women, and I think this transition from one to another is also like, wow, you need to take a step back. You need to realize that if you really want to grow, the company needs to survive and to grow without you. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And it's beautiful when you're able to finally do it. And that's what embodied architecture does. It helps a woman to take her hands off a little bit and to become more sovereign and in her body and being the reference point for herself, knowing that I can take my hands off, I can pull all of that energy back into me. And when I do, I can become more vibrant, more alive, more capable. But now I get to pick and choose and saying, I'll do that, not that. I'll enjoy that, not that. I'll work with this company, not this company, so that you're able to hold that beautiful life force. I call it erotic life force in a woman, that life force in her body. She's able to hold it in her body so that when she's needing to use it, it's available instead of spending it all day. I used to spend it all day because I'm so capable. But then I shipped it, and then things started to be, I started to renew the energy. And and here's the funny thing, when I was coming through like a bulldozer, I had so much energy, even coming through like a bulldozer. So I was spending enormous amounts of energy. So imagine the energy that I have now by allowing it to come back. And now I get to point it and direct it where I want it to be.
Love it.
Your thoughts.
No, I just say that I love it. Like,
Nice.
but the most challenging part, I think, it's realizing that you actually need to take the step back. Like, I'm sure that as long as you are in the trenches, as long as you are living the way you are living, you don't realize that okay, you need to take a step back and do things differently.
Yes. Now, why would an organization hire me? And I want you to talk about why an organization would hire you. For the leader, and you guys can read the slides. What I am where my heart is with this for an organization and for a leader. When a leader is thriving, renewed in her power, and her power is returning to herself, an organization will get and retain their top women. Organizations are spending significant amounts of money for women leaders. And when women leaders are not able to sustain and renew, then it's a cost to the organization. It's a cost to the leader. It's a cost to the organization. So we're able to, with embodied architecture, we're able to help that woman sustain herself and renew herself in her body. And when she comes to the organization, it is a win-win for the organization and the woman. What about you with Build with Her?
So maybe I can share one slide, if you
Sure.
let me,
Okay.
is basically this one. Do you see my slide?
I do.
So it's a flying wheel. This is what I was thinking about. So here, for example, obviously I wrote this slide, I think, on Tuesday, but it's not 150, it's 170 now. But for me, it's like what I see for women and what I see for companies. It's employee brand. It's like when companies want to really believe and want to attract way more people, they need to create an emotional connection with their own audience. And for me, they do it by really working with us to let other women within their organization write stories, tell why do they want to work at this and these companies. So for me, this is what I was saying about kind of the flying wheel is you publish, you have a profile, you get the visibility, then you get the credibility, and then you get the opportunity to do that. This is for women. For companies, you see it's kind of similar. It's employee expertise. By showing how women work at the company, they show their expertise. By doing that not only once but multiple times, they create credible stories. By doing that, because our Bill Wither is actually worldwide with thousands of website visitors today, you earn trust and external visibility. For example, for a company that is very well known, they will say, why do I want to work with Bill Wither? I already have my LinkedIn page already. Yes, but these women are not going to share what they went through. Why do they want to work and love working at your company on LinkedIn? But they can do that on Build with Her. So my goal is working with both, working with women, working with companies as well, because the more companies will understand, like, it's not about quota. They don't hire based on gender, but they hire based on skills. They hire based on discipline, and women can bring a lot on the table. But these stories from women working at these companies need to be heard. The company will grow. Then there will be more market share. There will be more customer engagements. They will earn profits because I know that we also live in a world where companies want to earn way more money than what they were earning yesterday. So by doing that, by let's say working with us, they can make sure that they will grow themselves. Do you have any question based on that?
Well, I love it because you're right. A woman doesn't want to show that vulnerability on a professional site. And she wants to be able to say, yes, this is happening. This is my skill set. This is what I see for the future. And when she has a safe place to do that, then she can speak. And the women that I've spoken to, it's been beautiful. They're saying, I have confidence to say X, Y, or Z now. I feel safe to say X, Y, or Z. And I don't know outside of what you're doing, I don't know of a platform where a woman can feel that safe to speak about it. So I'm really grateful for that. Really
And this
grateful
is
for that.
exactly the vision, and the vision of Build with Her is really like to create a safe place. I do not believe, and that's why I shared last week something about LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn since the beginning, but it's for me it's the old way, because now a lot of people are thinking about using LinkedIn for date as a dating app and everything, and there are women who come to me, women who actually shared their own stories that what happened
Wow.
within that on LinkedIn and all that happened, and they feel safe on Build With Her. And for companies, it's like I've been a business guy since I was 20. I'm 36 years old now, but I've been growing enterprise companies. I've been growing startup and all, and I know that even when you're an enterprise company, you still need to grow. You still need more market share. You still need to like build emotional connection with your audience. And who can do that better than than you own talents, you own women working at these companies. So for me, that's why I really believe in an ecosystem where Build With Her is not only a magazine, but Build With Her is a place where women can share freely and companies can actually grow even more than they were growing yesterday.
Yes. Yes. Um, Let me just see. Anything else you want to share from your slides?
Maybe one slide that for me I explained at the beginning of why women. For me, it's this. Why
Okay.
women? Why now? The women already building inside companies are the least visible. To be honest, before working and building Believe, I didn't know. I really felt like for me, uh, men and women were equal. And maybe I was too innocent. Maybe I'm a founder. I'm a crazy guy thinking that the world is more beautiful than what it is. But even working with companies at Fortune 500 in the US and so on, women are feeling the same. Women create value, women lead teams, women shape culture, but sometimes the visibility and sometimes, for example, the promotion, they don't have it. If you think in France, for example, one thing that I was amazed, we have something called CAC 40. It's CAC 40, is like the top companies in France. Do you know how many women are represented, like top leader? Only five or six out of 40. For me, when I see that, I say, wow, it's not that there are no women. It's like there is a visibility gap. There is a recognition gap. Because like you said earlier, women are going through different things. Motherhood, for example, and for me it's amazing because they can do. I'm not saying I never want to compare men and women because I think that at the end of the day my goal is gender equality, but they 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 can do more things than other people. And for me, this is the most important. That's why I started building Build With Her. And for me, the story is this. I want to create a place where women do not have to become smaller to become visible. You can say, I'm a mover. But because I'm a mover, I learned different skills. And these skills could actually be useful at the workplace. I'm still seeing women getting laid off because they are mover now. I think it's a shame. I think
It is a
companies
shame.
who fire a woman, like it shouldn't be like, yeah, it shouldn't exist. So for me, I really believe in giving the platform, not even a voice because they already have a voice, but giving a platform where they can share. I am the founder. I am the moderator, and I will do my best to do that. And you can ask me as well, like why you could build a lot of different products, but why did you want to focus on Build With Her? Is because, like I said, I also see that as a political stand. I also want to show that in Europe we can build great company, but impactful companies as well. Not impactful because they're building AI. No, I don't care. Everyone can build AI today. But impactful because they are changing things. Like what you're saying about your own company, about the old model and the new model. This is exactly why I believe that in Europe, especially in France, we can show to the world that we are able also to build great businesses that have impact for the rest of the world. So this is why I build with her.
And it's really beautiful. I think the first call that I went on with you, I was like, I get this guy. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. And we connected. Um, I'm not going to show any more slides from my side. We are going to put these slides on LinkedIn, and this is um, a recorded event today. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned that with this model of leadership, what's going to come out of this model of leadership in 20 years if something doesn't change? How are families going to be affected? How are relationships going to be affected? How are women going to be affected there's if there's not a new model? How are organizations are going to be affected if there's not a new model? I think organizations, leaders, CEOs, CHROs, executives, executive teams, when they take a step back and they say, why does this person not want to be here? Why are they performing, but they seem so, I call it disconnected and beige. Like, what's going on? This is what's going on. When a woman isn't embodied, when she's not protecting her aliveness, when she's not protecting her life force, it it takes away from the organization, but more importantly, it takes away from her. Starting next week, I'm going to be doing some executive briefings where I'm coming on line and I'm talking to organizations. I'm talking to founders and CEOs and CHROs, and I'm talking about what it takes for a woman to come back to her body so that her leadership can effect and what's happening, where her leadership is really the truth of who she is, and she feels empowered. She feels safe enough to lead in that way. And I feel so good about it that I took a stand and I said hell no to the old system, hell no to the old paradigm. We are able to now step into something new. And that's where embodied architecture comes in. It's enough of women having hidden collapse where they're suffering at work. It's time for something new. And I'm ready. I'm ready to jump aboard with organizations, Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies, with founders, partnering with people around the globe. Rock, we're ready. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
and I love it. So for all the women who heard, we are here to support you. Me on the media side by building with all of you, the women in the world. Let's not give you a voice. You, like I said, you already have a voice. I do not want to be a platform where you can become someone because for me, you already are someone. So if you already are someone, let's use Build with her together and let's build this great future, the future of work. I love it so much. And with you as a partner, I really think that we can really make a lot of impact. And to be honest, one more thing, because you gave a number, I do not want to wait 20 years to see what happened if we don't change the world. I want to say, let's give us 6 months to have an impact. Of course, we're not going to change the world in 6 months, but at least we can change things. And we need the support of everyone who believed that as a woman, you need to be treated differently. So let's do it together.
Rock, that is music to my ears, my friend. That is music to my ears. From my heart to your ears, and to the universe and to the world. 6 months. It's already happening. It's
It's
already
already
happening.
happening.
It's already happening. We're here for it. Um, Anyone who wants to join this beautiful opportunity for women, find Rock on LinkedIn, get to those stories, write some stories for Build with Her. Organizations, you can hire us together to come into your organizations to do some beautiful things for your organizations, women, executives, high capacity women, movers and shakers. You want a new way of doing leadership? Reach out to me. Embodied architecture is ready. And that's all I have to say. This has been beautiful conversations. Tarak, thank you for staying up with me and being here with me. This is important.
I love it so much. Thank you so much. And we can do another session very shortly.
Sounds good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye.